Welcome to the Eye on Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenay, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
Well, I'll tell you, the last time we chatted here, it was a long time ago, man. It was like a pandemic and a half ago, I guess.
Oh
but we're with Evie Turner, who's the vice president, and Christina Rossetti, who is the controller of Main and Market. How are you guys?
Great. Good.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you, Main and Market is one of my favorite places, not only because it is super convenient to my house and I can walk to it. I don't come here for the exercise. I come here for the food because it sort of mitigates one.
It always helps to get the steps in.
One another there as well. It was funny because I was looking at your website, which I should say is mainandmarket.com. And you guys redid it, and it makes it real easy because there's a big old line in the middle and it says, okay, cafe on the left and catering on the right.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's been such a while, I like to do check into the restaurants because so much has changed over the years. So I guess let's talk about the cafe first. And, my disclosure is that I am a brunch fanatic with here, and I eat very few lunches and dinners in the cafe. I will admit that, even though I've had them all. Brunch is sort of my heart, has my heart there. But the cafe over the years really seems to have, and I know that you did the physical expansion with some extra booths at one point, but lately it just seems like it's much bigger. I mean, I know you've taken the counter and it's sort of wrapped around, and it just seems much bigger, and you've done an awful lot of work to it.
Well, there was a lot of demand for more seats at the counter. People really enjoy sitting there. And that's when we decided we needed to extend it, offer, more mimosas at brunch, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
So that's my go-to. When I don't have my kids or anybody with me, it's counter, no wait, usually. Yeah. Usually there's a side. And the great thing about it is that there's always somebody very cool to talk with.
Right.
And you've got a bunch of, I don't know where you get them, but they're always very fascinating people.
Has to be the right person at the counter. And you're really lucky if it's Janet.
Yeah, no, it is somewhat of my go-to spot for the weekend for brunch. And I think you make it the best Eggs Benedict in town, hands down. And that's sort of my go-to. And every now and then I get an omelet and they're going, "Are you sure?" Mm-hmm. I said, "Yeah, I'm sure. I can switch it up every now and then, but not too often." But so now I understand. Are you serving breakfast all the time? You used to do this way back when, and then everybody moved out into the parking lot, and
we did, and it took us a while, but
4 years.
We were kind of determined to make it happen again because it's taken a little bit for word to get out that we are open at 8:00 for breakfast, Monday through Friday, in addition to the weekends.
Wow, 8:00. Okay, that's pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
Good stop on the way to the work. As long as you're not working down in Northern Virginia, you're probably
8 to 11.
Well, what are the hours of the cafe in general? 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
8 a.m. every day. 8:30 on weekdays. We close 8:30 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays we're open until 9, and Sundays we close at 8 p.m.
Oh man, that's a rough schedule. But you got to be there. You definitely
Typically
have to
there's a manager or two that spaces it out for the day. So
yeah, we have a lot of good managers right now,
and you've got a lot of great employees.
We do, that have been here for a long time.
You really do. You don't have a good never have a bad experience with and that's totally unsolicited and somewhat like Cheers to a degree. They kind of know your name. They kind of know what you want.
We have a lot of regulars who like to sit in the same booth or the same counter seat.
Same server.
Yeah. They know what they like to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that we're out of the pandemic, though, what lessons? Did we learn it? I know that I can now dine and dash with the Toast app, and I'm not really dining and dashing, but I can scan my QR code and bug out, and I'm not. Just curiosity, does that cost you guys anything?
Not with Toast. No, it's included in our POS system. So.
Okay, because my thing was that if it costs you, 20 cents or $1 or something like that, I would totally pay separately and do. I get you get the credit card things because they've all figured out a way to suck 2.5% to 5% off of everybody's bottom line.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that we had to do with catering, and people are accepting of it because they understand it's just another cost that we have to, eat if we don't add on. So
there are so many businesses now that are doing that. And, with as the minimum wages are increasing and everything else, you're finding people that are putting the surcharges in. And I think most people are very, very cool with it as long as it's upfront and not this little hidden thing. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing worse than getting the money. Like, what's this 9.5% vague thing that I didn't know about? I know if I go into DC, if I go in, to some restaurants, they'll sit there and say, hey, we add a 10% on.
I was just in California. We were just in Los Angeles, and it was 18% service charge on top of the tip. That wasn't the tip.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's
California
kind of the norm.
California now has that $20 minimum wage, which is which is tough. And something the food's got to be more expensive, or people have to live. I mean, it's a tough.
We hemmed and hawed with that, but we have not done any credit card fees in the cafe as of yet.
Yeah, personally, I'm kind of like raise the price if you need to. Or if you're willing to work on a slimmer margin, then, keep it where it is. And
in catering, to be honest, people have the option to mail a check or pay cash. So it's not mandatory.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I do love the toast thing. And I jokingly say it seems like you're dining and dashing. It's sort of like with the Apple app in the store, you can poop, 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 and just walk out with whatever you have, which makes it real convenient. And you guys have done a lot of carryout business. I mean, I think I talked to somebody who said, maybe it was you, Christie, that said during COVID, it was like almost 70% was like carryout
it was crazy.
At some point in COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of that has stuck. I mean, I know I hear a lot of people that like to eat at home. And I mean, you guys have just such a great menu, and most of it travels pretty well.
And we pack it well. We do a really good job of separating, your hot from your cold, and your sauces on the side. And that makes all the difference when you get home. Do you guys
limit what you serve for a carryout on the menu? No, so you can get pretty much anything?
Anything. We do recommend with the French onion soup that it won't travel the best. But other than that, we're able to deconstruct.
Okay. I've never had your French onion soup.
Oh.
Is it on point?
It's good.
Yeah.
It is very good.
Oh, yeah.
Good and cheesy.
One of Tom Hogan's favorites.
Interesting. Okay. I'm going to have to give that a shot. That's, but, and you do things, and I have done some takeaway from you guys. I've done the Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh, good.
Which was that always a thing?
It was always a thing. What's interesting is we probably started that 20 years ago, and it was small. It wasn't like people really wanted to do all of that, but more and more people's time is so important now, right? Your free time to prepare a Thanksgiving dinner takes days, 3 days. So if you can order everything from us and just pick it up the day before, it's life-changing there.
It is a process that you guys go through here with the lines and the check-in and around the back.
And that was a COVID thing that we kept, and everybody loves it. Our clients absolutely adore it. They pull up. I'm usually the welcoming committee, and they pull up. They give us their name, and when I'll tell them what to do, they say, I know the drill. And then they pull around.
Pull around and radio it in, and the bags come out and loaded right up in the car.
That's actually become an every holiday thing now for us. Yeah. So it's Thanksgiving, Easter,
and Christmas. Awesome. Yeah. That's the first time I did it, I think it was during COVID, and it was just nobody wanted to cook.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome just to be able to pick it up.
It was very cool, and people love it.
Good. I'm glad to hear. I'm sad to hear that I didn't know about it earlier, and I'm glad to hear it's going on. And I know that you guys have, and I know it sort of marries between the catering and the cafe, but I mean the bakery that you guys have, and I know you've saved my butt and come through for me a lot of times on probably a dozen cakes over the years.
Well, and we also added in the bakery. We have a bakery shop now online, and it's funny because I think it's people find it, and it's great because I don't know about you, but when it's after 5:30, 6 o'clock, that's when I probably have to do everything, personally. Oh, I forgot to order that cake today. I didn't call Main and Market, but now you can go online and place your cake order online, pay for it, and your order is with us.
And just roll down and pick it up when it's ready.
Yep. And we never had that before this. So that's a fairly new addition to our website too.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And I know that, don't tell anybody, but I'm part of the Annapolis Moms group. And I know they're all gaga over the, and I've not had it again, but the charcuterie boxes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And so, I mean, if you've got a day out on the boat,
it's pretty cool for the boat.
To get something here. I mean, this is really a go-to place. I mean, it's 914 Bay Ridge Road. I get the roads and avenues confused.
Yep.
And
so does the mail.
But I mean, it's a cool little shopping center. I mean, you've got Jerry's Now Domino's, you've got Main and Market, you've got My Barbershop, Capital Barbershop, you've got the nail salon, you've got One Physical Therapy, you've
Flowers
by Donna's, wonderful.
Yeah.
Dr. Anderson, our dentist. Yep.
Plenty of parking as well. Let's talk a little bit about the catering because, again, I was very surprised when I saw the first time several years ago how big the kitchen was. And I said, well, that's a pretty big kitchen for a little cafe.
Come by next week. You'll see all the people in there too. It's
well,
great.
you are in crunch time right now. We're recording this just before commissioning week. And that's the time when there's 1,000 strange families in town all looking to have food.
Everybody needs food and they don't have time. Their schedules do not allow them to prepare it themselves. So really beginning Monday through Friday, it is pretty consistent.
Well, I mean, you have, as I walked in the front door and I'm looking across the table at us, I mean, you get the best of awards, whether it doesn't matter who does it best, whether it's What's Up Magazine, whether it's the Capitol. I mean, you're always in there. And how long have you been doing the catering for? I mean, and how long has Main and Market, born as Main Ingredient, been around?
Since 93.
Wow.
So, awesome. Ever since we've been doing, in-house parties, small parties, and it's grown to, weddings, and then moved on to all kinds of corporate and sports catering. We do a lot for the Naval Academy and St. John's College, University of Maryland. So we do a lot of college business too during the week. And then all of our fun social events on the weekends.
And you mentioned University of Maryland. I mean, so how far off do you cater?
Well, we have clients, if they want to pay for us, to drive there, we will go. But we will do work over the Eastern Shore. We had a wedding in Cambridge last year. We've gone to Middleburg, Virginia in the past.
Oh, wow.
Because you have clients who have houses in Annapolis and they have houses in other places. So they want the same caterer that they're comfortable with, for us to come out. So most of that is because of repeat business.
I got to think with a caterer, though, and you mentioned repeat business and they're comfortable with it. I mean, that's, you're inviting somebody into your home or into your property at some point that, you want somebody that's not necessarily snooping in your medicine cabinet.
Well,
and obviously you've got the insurance aspect of it, but I mean.
Trust. I mean, it's not just food. You need to trust the people that you're.
So you talked about sports stuff. So, I mean, if I'm having just a small tailgate in my driveway because of a Saturday football game or Sunday football game, that's something
we can come and deliver, set it up and head out. You don't always have to have a server with you, with us with our food. We can deliver, set everything up and walk away and you can clean it up. You can come into the office on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and pick it up on your way to the game. We have a lot of clients who will do that as well. So you can pick up your food. We just have a minimum of 12 people. And then we also offer these special menus online that are pre-fixed, pre-done, kind of on the fly. I say on the fly. I still need 24 hours, but people will order for example, we have a party. It's called the pop-up party package, and people can place an order for the weekend and say, I need that. That's perfect. I need 3 of those menus and we're gonna pick it up on Saturday at 2:00 or deliver it to my house. So we do that a lot too.
Very cool. And that makes it real easy.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's all about time and people don't have that luxury of time these days. I know I need 6 hours extra in my day.
Yeah. Time is tough.
Yeah.
And it's not getting any better.
It
doesn't seem. How many events do you do in a year that you cater? Do you have any idea?
Gosh, I don't know, controller. You got your numbers together?
Well,
probably.
There's no laptop or spreadsheet in there?
I know. I'm sorry. We're not prepared. I would say it's probably easier to break that down versus total. We probably do 75 weddings a year.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So
And, so that's
It's like more than one a weekend.
probably because you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You could have a Friday night wedding, a Saturday day wedding, a Saturday night wedding, and a Sunday wedding. So, you could do 4 weddings in a weekend. So that doesn't happen often, but it does happen, and then it just depends because your volume fluctuates. You could have 10 parties of 25 people on a Saturday. Well, on Blue Angels Day, for example, but you may then have a tailgate for 500 and 1 wedding. So it's really about the number of people you're serving.
And certainly you've got different highs and lows. I mean, as we mentioned, we're going into a high season right now. Yes. I think, like I say, commissioning week, and is June probably a still good time to get married?
June is a great time.
Probably a bad time for caterers.
It's a great month for weddings. September and October are probably May, June, September, October are your 4 most popular months for a wedding. And then, July and August tends to be more picnics and crab feasts and family reunions, things like that. And then we do a lot with Watermark too on all the charter boats during the summer.
Right. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome.
they really do. I mean, you talked about a wedding for 500. I mean, what's...
That was a tailgate for 500.
Okay. Or tailgate.
Our weddings average 200 people, 150.
Okay. I mean, so what's your capacity? I mean, so you could do 12, you said, on the low end as far as serving 12 on a pop-up party.
Yep.
What's on the top end? I mean, if I've got like 1,500 of my closest friends wanting to come over for a...
Yeah, sure. We just, we've catered, tailgates and grand openings and company events up to probably 1,500 people.
Oh, gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But those are like monumentous, like big.
Sure.
Something big's happening in town.
It's all hands on deck.
Mm-hmm. And all hands
We're
on deck.
all there.
We call it bring all hands on deck or bring your best friend to work day. Because it's got to be your best friend. It can't just be a friend. Because you need them. You need them to be your best friend that day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you prepare all the food here?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So you're not doing you're doing warming when you get to a location?
We prep everything here and we cook on site as much as possible. Yep. So we rent propane ovens, for the middle of a field with a tent next to us.
Okay.
We'll have our grills, we fryers if we need them. So we really do try to cook on site as much as possible or in a home.
So it's very similar to the way the turkey works.
Right, exactly.
It's all prepped and ready to go, and you just...
Yeah. And then, we assemble everything. You have to heat everything. It's one of the things that makes a difference in the taste and the quality of the food. When you reheat it,
it's leftovers.
Sounds good, but
not really.
But if you're eating a beef tenderloin that just came out of the oven perfectly, and it makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah, undeniably.
Yeah,
undeniably. And is full service the right term to use as far as the type of caterer you are? I mean, you can do obviously the soup to nuts to the the drinks to the the desserts.
We can, because for example, when we meet with a wedding client, we're discussing with them their menu. We help them then plan their dessert presentation, their wedding, design their wedding cake. Then we will work with them on their tablescapes and their china and their colors and pull all that together. And then, of course, we have a statewide catering liquor license. So we can handle their bar, design their bar menus, and provide that service, because not everybody wants to schlep and pick up and, all of that themselves. So we will.
Okay. So full service. I mean, if I'm getting married, I can... Do you do tables and all that? Or
all the rental. Yeah. All the china, all the linen, silverware, tables, chairs.
So I can tell you that I want octagonal shaped tables with fuchsia things, and you'll figure out how to get it.
Yep. And it might cost you more to get on octagonal.
Oh, sure. Sure. But
we'll work on it for you.
That's okay. So, I can come to Main and Market and speak with you. And obviously you're not a wedding coordinator, because there's a lot more that goes into it than, but as far as we'll say the reception and any kind of entertainment, that's.
Yep. And then we connect our clients with other vendors. So if you don't have your vendors picked out, we recommend, photographer, florist. And then when it comes to wedding coordinators, we have relationships with other wedding coordinators, whether it's day of, month, or you need one to do everything for you.
So neat about weddings is, and I'm somewhat going through wedding hell with my own daughter who's getting married down in North Carolina. But Natalie Frank, who used to do a bunch of wedding photos and senior photos, she told me one time that
we did her wedding.
Yeah. She said that she would never do a wedding without doing an engagement shot.
Oh,
And she said the reason is because I am going to be at your side for at least 8 hours on your wedding day.
yeah.
And if I don't like you or you don't like me, this is the bad thing. And it goes back to the thing that you mentioned, Evie, is trust. And, I trust that Main and Market is going to be bringing us a quality meal and quality drinks and quality people to do that. And that was her thing. It was no. I said, and it doesn't necessarily need to be nefarious or bad. It's just like, hey, some people just don't click, don't get along.
Yeah.
But on the most important day of your life, you want to make sure that everything is firing on all cylinders, especially the photographer who's going to be capturing that.
You want to click. And I always tell clients, no matter what bride or corporate client, the more you tell us, the better. If we don't know about you, tell us, what your vision is. Tell us what you love to eat when you go to restaurants. We need to know those things when we design a menu for you.
What's your sweet spot? What do you like to cater?
Well,
I mean, I know you can say anything.
I know this sounds hokey, but I've always said that when you plan a wedding, I've been doing this for more than 25 years now. Every time you're there or in the event itself, you really do immerse yourself in it. And even still, when they cut the cake, I still get a little emotional.
A little tear.
It is. So it is special. You are part of someone's life and they remember. I had a client come in yesterday for her daughter's wedding and it's a small wedding. And she said, well, I told her we need to get the almond pound cake with raspberry preserves and sweet buttercream icing. I said, oh, that's my favorite wedding cake. She goes, that was my wedding cake 32 years ago. I thought that was so cute. So she said, I got it from you guys too. So yeah. So those things that people remember, I got my cake there. We're a big part of, people's memories.
That's so cool when you see that. And I know Steve Samaras has said the same thing. You get somebody that may come in with an engagement ring and then it turns into something that I never knew, but a push present or something like when they have the first baby. And then there's like the milestone anniversaries and you've developed a relationship.
Yeah.
And no, you're not cooking my meals, much to my dismay, every night of the week or every weekend. But, during the milestone events, whether it be graduations or milestone birthdays or weddings and, funerals and just everything that goes on.
Birthday cakes. We had a woman come in the other day who ordered her cake with April and she said, I can't believe my daughter's 18. I've been getting her birthday cake here ever since she was born. I thought that was the cutest thing ever. But yeah, people, it means something to them. So
That's wild.
It is more than food.
You guys make amazing stuff. I've never catered with you, but I've been to plenty of your parties that you have catered to. So it's sort of like boats, other people's food.
That's the way to do it.
But knowing what you know about the capabilities of Main and Market, if you two, just knowing that but not working here, if you guys walked into the cafe next door, Evie, what is it that you're going to order?
If I wasn't worried about calories,
we can never worry about calories.
We can never worry about calories. I know. Honestly, I do love our salads. Our salads are awesome. And our salmon, I love the Annapolis chopped salad is so good because it has lots of goodness in it, like bacon and feta and corn, avocado. And I always get salmon on top of it. But our Cajun chicken salad is always killer. Everyone loves it. And
Hungarian mushroom
soup. Yeah. But the best part about our salad is a little mini pumpkin muffin on the side too. Yeah. But for breakfast, I love our Eggs Benedict.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with.
Do you go, no, what kind of Eggs Benedict do you go for personally?
I'm a traditional.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I got into a fight with, one time, a long time ago with Chart House, and I hate seafood. Okay. I don't eat anything,
No seafood?
No, if it lives in, on, near, or under the water, I won't eat it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And all right, Christy, you're not getting off the hook.
Yeah,
what do you order when you walk in?
Well, like I said, the Hungarian mushroom soup. I always have to finish my meal with the chocolate mousse pie or the Italian cream cake. I mean, I could go on. Like, you give me a starter, okay. Always have to get our crab dip. Salad, cafe salad's always my go-to. That maple champagne vinaigrette. Tom Hogan, our owner, always says you could judge a place by the quality and taste of their burger. We've got a great burger with a bacon onion jam.
You do have a good burger. You do have a very solid burger.
I'm very blessed. We get to eat lunch here every day. So it's like, well,
And
world's
apparently
our
the French
oyster.
onion soup is good.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
now I'm intrigued. I'm going
Very
to have to
good.
come back and figure out here. Well, I want to thank you guys both for your time. And Cafe and Catering office again is at 914 Bay Ridge Road in Annapolis. And again, it's a great little center. It's got a little bit of everything. I mean, you've got, if you're certainly getting married or having an event, I mean, you've got flowers
You can
right
do a
down the
lot.
road. You
Yeah.
can get your hair cut next door with get all spruced up.
Massage
And
before the big day. Yep.
Sam is great down there. And I love now that he takes appointments as opposed to having to wait for an hour
Oh,
and a half.
that's great. Okay.
Which is great. mainandmarket.com is the website. But I don't advise going there. Just go to the place and eat their food. It's wonderful. I'm a huge fan, as I said, for breakfast and brunch. Breakfast now at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. every day, 7 days a week.
And the cafe is open until 8 o'clock, pretty much every night. And then a little bit more on Fridays and Saturdays. Sample the menus. I mean, they're fantastic. Let me go back real quick, Evie, with the catering too. I mean, I'm assuming that you do tastings and
We do. I meant to, when we meet with a client after we kind of design a menu based on what they're looking for, they come in and they can do a tasting and they will try a little bit of everything on their menu, or maybe they need to make a decision between two different entrees that are similar. But we'll do a tasting of that from beginning to end. Desserts, of course, they taste the wedding cakes and anything else that they might be adding on to their dessert presentation.
any great bridezilla stories you want to spill?
I never had a bridezilla, not one. Not one.
My daughter was borderline there. We had to rein her back in a little bit after it was funny. She got engaged and within like a week, it was like everything needed to be planned. I'm like, you're not getting married for a year and a half. Just
Right. Well, and the thing is, you change your mind too. So it's hard. You might a year and a half, and then 6 months later, you're like, oh, switching that up.
true.
So
Absolutely.
That's tough.
Well, what don't we know about Main and Market, whether it be on the catering side or on the cafe side? What would surprise somebody that's listening to this? And right now, I mean, I know the Hungarian mushroom soup and the French onion soup are spot on.
I think what's great about the cafe is we have our weekly specials. So we always have a weekday lunch specials. There's always two. Monday night, it's meatloaf night. So we've got 3 to 4 different ways to do meatloaf. And that's for 2 people and includes a starter salad and the meatloaf dinner. Tuesdays, we change it up a little bit with our 2 for 36 Tuesdays. So that includes 2 starter salads, the choice of 2 entrees. We usually have 6 to 8 offerings that they can choose from. And then a dessert to share, which is great. I mean, $36.
$36 you can't.
Yeah.
You can barely get through McDonald's with that.
Wednesday nights, we always have half price bottle wine, and that includes, we always do a fun dish pairing with one of our wines. And then Thursday night's my favorite, prime rib. And then when you get to the weekend, you've got dinner specials that go from Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening. And we always have a couple brunch specials as well, Saturday and Sunday. So there's always something fun with specials. And
our specials are awesome.
Yeah, Chef Missy and Chef Morgan are always coming up with some new fun trends. And
your back of the house too has been with you guys an awful long time too.
Yep.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
It's not just the front of the house.
Chef Missy's been with us,
close to 18 years, I'd say.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With a couple babies in between.
Yeah.
Are you guys good cooks?
I mean, I think I'm a very good cook. Yeah. But you haven't cooked for me.
Did it just sort of rub off on you, or were you cooks to get into this?
I mean, I grew up in a family that my mother is an amazing cook.
Yeah.
So
I think being in this industry, you either, it just kind of goes hand in hand. You have a passion for food.
The first time that we met was way back when Chesapeake Chicken was down at where Flowers by Donna is.
That's how I bought my first car. I started there when I was 15.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was back when I first moved down here in like 96.
So
it was still
Didn't
there.
she have a drive-through? Is there a drive-through?
No.
No? I don't know why.
No. There were windows that maybe with some friends here and there, we'd pass out some chicken.
But, that's so funny.
Yeah. I always say I've come full circle because starting Chesapeake Chicken at the old floors and then being here for the last 17 years.
Give it another 17, you'll be out of the building.
Yeah, we'll see. At least up to the second floor.
Yeah.
When we expand more for kitchen space.
Are you expanding more?
No.
No,
That was a joke.
not at the moment.
Mainlandmarket.com is where you want to go. But again, 914 Bay Ridge Road. If you've not been, shame on you. Get out here, find out all the goodness that they've got here. If the door on the weekend is locked, look carefully at the door because it's probably the catering office and not the cafe, which is just one to the left.
Very good point.
Exactly.
We had a nickel for every time someone tried to come through that door.
Miss April would be
pulling on the door, looking at the window, there's people eating in there. How come I can't get in it? One door to the left. That's will trip you up there, but come check it out. But Evie Turner and Christina Rossetti, thank you guys so much for your time
welcome.
today.
Thank
and,
you. It's fun. Great to see you.
And thanks for all the good food. And I think I'm going next door and try out some French onion soup.
Good. Okay.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.